Good morning everyone, my name is Alex Dodds. Welcome to episode 69 of Dodds Diaries. Today is Tuesday 24th of April. It's now 25 to 7 in the morning, and today I go back out after a few month break again. Today I'm going out and it's going to touch four corners of the English-Scottish border. Starting here in Chesley Street, catch a bus to Newcastle. The journey is going to involve both the northern terminuses of the West Coast Main Line and the East Coast Main Line. So I'm doing a similar outing to what I've done in previous round robins, where I've been around Northern England, or of course the 900-mile UK round robin trip. Let's go and catch the bus. It's not very often I walk down this pathway nowadays. We're on Door North East. Newest buses, right straight deck on the 20 and these now have tables with games on, new leather seats, look very nice. This is number 6322. We're just coming up to the Ballymow pub.
Next stop, Harlow Green Bridge. John Dobson Street.
Walking down Granger Street in Newcastle now. We've got Gray's Monument just there. Right, Matt Central Station. We have 67013 on Thunderbird duties. We've got Virgin East Coast HST heading to London King's Cross. That's 43299 on the back. And a TransPennine 185 just going to Leeds. Some engineering works I think are preventing the services to Liverpool going further on. Anyway, today's outing, I'm going to catch the 0824 to Carlisle. We're basically doing the outing in like a rectangular kind of journey. So this is one corner of the rectangle. The next stop will be Carlisle. I'll have a couple of hours over there, and then the next part of the journey will be from Carlisle to Glasgow Central on hopefully a Pendolino train. And that's the reason for this trip. Remember when I did me 900-mile UK round robin trip? I was meant to be going down the West Coast Main Line via Carstairs and Lockerbie. Unfortunately, because of Lamington Viaduct, that got destroyed a little bit. The trains had to divert via Dumfries, and that's what I did on that outing. So this time there'll be no problems, and I'll be going up the West Coast Main Line. I'll have a few hours in Glasgow, and hopefully meet up with couple of my friends up there. And then, for the third part, we're going over to Edinburgh for the rest of the evening. I will stay there until I get the 2100 from Edinburgh Waverley back down to here. I'll be back down here to 11:15 tonight. This whole journey has just costed £27. I've bought each journey in advance. So, it's going to be a good day today. And this morning we are on a class 156. Much better than a pacer.
All tickets, passes and rail cards, please. Thank you. That's lovely, thank you. gentlemen, in a few moments' time, the train will arrive into Carlisle, where the service will terminate. When leaving the train, please ensure you do take with you all your personal belongings. Carlisle will be our next and final station stop.
Right, I'm now at Carlisle. It's now 10:07. Got a double set Virgin Trains Voyager there. It's a class 153 just over there. See, in the background is the class 156 that are over here. Normally I'll be going home from here on one of those, but today it's a bit different. I'll be going home on an HST later on. So I'm going to be here for a good hour and a half before moving up to Scotland. Since the last time I was here, the station refurbishment works have now been fully completed. As you can see, just about all the glass has been reglazed. They've actually used similar material to what's at Manchester Victoria Station for the roof panels. I'll tell you what, since all the roof has been refurbished, the station looks, I think, better than ever. A very familiar sound of something very squeaky, and it just has to be a Class 142 pacer coming in off the Cumbrian coastline.
Birmingham New Street, Birmingham International, Coventry, Milton Keynes Central and London Euston. This train is formed of 5 coaches. Platform 4 for the 11-12 Virgin Trains service to London Euston via Birmingham New Street.
Here's my train, the 11:49 to Glasgow Central, and it is an 11-car Pendolino. And I'm going to enjoy this ride. The very first time up to Glasgow via Lockerbie.
Welcome on board Virgin Trains. We'll be travelling to Glasgow Central. We're now approaching Glasgow Central, which is our final stop.
When leaving us here, make sure you have all your luggage and belongings with you, and please mind the step down to the platform.
Thank you for travelling with Virgin Trains.
Gentlemen, we're now approaching the final call for the service, Glasgow Central. Please, when you leave the train, do make sure you take everything that you boarded with or personal items, bags, belongings, and please take care when you step too. From myself and the rest of the onboard crew, I'd like to thank you for travelling with us this afternoon. Let's wish you a safe and pleasant onward journey. Next, our final call in a few moments, Glasgow Central.
Right, it's now 1:25. And here I am at Glasgow Central. I am now 2/4 of the way through my round robin trip. That was a lovely ride I had coming up the West Coast Main Line. The scenery was spectacular. That makes up for not going down that way during my UK round robin trip 2 and a bit years ago. There's now I can say I've been from Carlisle to London Euston on a Pendolino, and I've gone from Carlisle to Glasgow Central on a Pendolino. So that's the whole West Coast Main Line now done. For a little bit I've been joined by Mr. Ryan Jameson, my buddy from Kilwinning.
Yeah.
Good to see him. And of course being up here, it gives me another chance to see more Class 314s that are slowly getting withdrawn.
I actually get them a wee bit longer because of the issues with the 385s.
Alright.
And there's rumours in that the 365s are coming up as well.
Yeah.
To go up with the capacity in that, so might see some 365s in the future.
Yeah? Anyway, let's see what we got. 2 Pendolinos there. That one on platform 1 is what I got up here. 314 down there. It's also another chance to see Class 314s in the old SPT livery. And there's a 380 there. And if we take a look on the other side of the station, got another 314 just down there. 2 Class 380s over there. A 156 still in the first livery. And 320 coming in here. Basically trains here like in and out nearly every second. So just gonna keep the cameras going. And also being up here, this could also be my last ever time up here as well.
Up to 30 seconds before departure from this station.
Right, time for me to finish it there. I've done about 45-50 minutes here. That's well enough for me to get here, because the train's just going out in and out in every second. Meantime, I'm going to head over to Queen Street. I'll do a session there, and then from there I'll go over to Edinburgh Waverley on a 170 going via Croy, Falkirk and Pullman. I'll get over there about tea time. So we'll have a walk through the city centre. We're just on Gordon Street. Central Station was just back over there. Last time I was here was September last year. Now we're just coming on to Buchanan Street, the main shopping street, one of them. Down that way is St Enoch and Carlisle Street. The subway's down that way, but I'm not using that today. Don't really need to, because I'm only going between the two places. Queen Street is up here somewhere. This is George Square, and over here is Queen Street Station. As you can see now, you can see the front of Queen Street Station fully. The old ticket office, the buildings are now getting demolished. That station's now getting refurbished. Well, the ticket facilities are. That building looked like it was built in the 60s, so getting rid of that now. Okay, I'm now at Queen Street. It's now 5 to 3. So I've signed in, no problem. They've moved the office now. It's now over here on platform 7 where you go and sign in. I'll do about at least half an hour, 40 minutes here, and then go over to Edinburgh. We've got 380 there. 2 380s actually, and a 170 Turbo Star. Now, some of the Class 170s from up here are actually getting transferred to Northern to operate services in Yorkshire, including Leeds, Harrogate, York, and also there's some are going to Manchester area as well. Since the last time I was here, electric trains have now started running here into Queen Street. Street on a very busy rush hour train, I should say.
don't think it would really do anything, to be honest. Yeah, it wasn't back. I emailed my phone anyway, because I was like, I'll just have something anyway. Because I was, when I was like, should I do dynamic sales or should I do sales star conference? And I was like, you're doing that, do dynamic sales conference.
I'll tell you what, I'll see if I can do it. If I can do it, I'll text you. If not, I'll make sure.
We are now approaching Edinburgh Waverley.
Yeah.
Right, it's now 20 to 5. I'm at another city, another station. I'm at Edinburgh Waverley now, signed in. This is the fourth train spotting session I'll be doing today. I'll do this for about an hour and a bit, and then look around the city for a few hours, and then I'll be going home from here tonight. It's been a fab day today. We've got the 91 130 next door to us. There's something I don't really see a lot here at Waverley Station, and that is a cross-country voyager that'll be departing from platform 3, one of these dead-end platforms, as these are normally used by the trains going to and from North Berwick.
Wallingford, Preston Pans, Longniddry, Dren and North Berwick. This train is formed of 4 coaches. Platform 14, 4B, 17, 15, Scorpion 7. Platform 12, 4B, 17, 23, Scorpion service to Glasgow Central via Shorts. calling at Haymarket, Glasgow I, Carlisle, Lenzie and Glasgow Queen Street. This train is formed of 6 coaches. Platform 14 for the Platform 12 for the 17:45 ScotRail service to Glasgow Queen Street. Calling at Haymarket 17:45 ScotRail service to Glasgow Queen Street. 'To comply with legislation and in the interests of comfort and safety, this station operates a no-smoking policy. Please do not smoke on the station. Thank you for your cooperation. ScotRail service to Glenorthis with Thornton. Travel in the front 3 coaches for Haymarket, Edinburgh Gateway, Dalmeny, North Queensferry, Inverkeithing, Rosyth, Dunfermline Town, Dunfermline Queen Market. Service to Glenorthis with Thornton.
Okay, we are on Princess Street. Over here is the Balmoral Hotel. Waverley Station is just over here. Tram tracks are here, which carry the Edinburgh tram system to the airport. Princess Street Gardens are along here. Towards there's Edinburgh Castle. We will be going up that in a bit, up the Royal Mile. So just round the corner here is the Waverley Bridge. Walking up the Royal Mile now. There's one thing I fancy when I'm up here, and that's a deep fried Mars bar. I've already had one in Glasgow, so I think I fancy another one today as well. Because I love them so much, and you know what? There's no wrong with having 2 deep fried Mars bars on the same day. Here I am at the top of the Royal Mile, and here is Edinburgh Castle. Closed, of course. Hey, it's a lovely sunny evening. And the views you get from the side of here are spectacular. We go over this side, which I have shown you before. Down there you see the main line. The Princess Street Gardens are still there. Princess Street is down there. You can see right the way out across the Forth from here as well. Further along that way you're heading towards the Forth Rail Bridge and the new Forth Bridge, the two road ones. Places like Inverkeithens over that way, and also Dalgetty Bay, Aberdour, Burnt Island, and Kinghorn are over on the other side of the Forth. Then you're heading up towards Fife, up that way as well when you head into Clitpoddy. Walk across to the other side. Be nice to go in the castle one day. I imagine it's quite pricey to get in though. We'll look at the view of the old town, and the good thing is, because it's evening, the sun is shining on it, which is much better for photography. Here's the view of the old town. The scenery is just amazing up here. What a day I've had. Travelled from Newcastle to Carlisle, then to Glasgow, and then to here. And I head home just over an hour and a half time. In the summertime, this is where they have the military tattoo. Heaving around then. Meantime, I'm going to have a walk back down the Royal Mile.
You'll sound more yourself. I know.
Walking back towards Waverley Station, as it's only 10 to 8, I think I'll pop in the pub and have a pint of Tennant's Scottish lager brewed in Glasgow. Lovely jubbly. I've never tried whiskey before. I'll need to try whiskey one day, I think. Right, back at Waverley Station. It's now coming up towards 9:15. Got one more train journey. Get the 2100 late service back to Newcastle. Get there for about 11:15, and that will complete this fantastic round robin trip that I've had today. We'll get a bus back to Chelsea Street. Be home about around midnight.
at Edinburgh, this is 2100 service due to Leeds. Calling at Dunbar, Berwick-upon-Tweed, Allenmouth, Morpeth, Newcastle, Durham, Darlington, York and Leeds, where we're due to arrive at midnight 43. My name is Janauary, return manager as far as Newcastle this evening. Please make sure that luggage is stored in the luggage racks provided. We also have safety information in the vestibule ends for your attention, and if you do see anything suspicious or something that doesn't look right, please report it to a member of staff or contact the British Transport Police by texting 61016. Quiet coaches on this service are Coach B and Coach J. If at either of these coaches, your electronic equipment needs to be turned to the silent mode, and if you do receive phone calls, they need to be taken out in the vestibule end. Catering facilities are available this evening and the food bar is open, located in Coach J, serving hot and cold refreshments along with a fully licensed bar. We also have a complimentary service for passengers in first class. If myself or any member of the crew can be any assistance, please don't hesitate to ask. The next calling point for this service will be Dunbar in approximately 20 minutes. The next calling point for this service will be Allenmouth in approximately 20 minutes. Dropping into Newcastle station, passengers moving to Newcastle, please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you and mind the gap between the train and the platform edge. Thank you for travelling with us. This evening Newcastle is our next station.
As you can see, we are back in Newcastle. It is now coming up towards 10 to 11. I am back where my train outings started today. So I started here, went to Carlisle, to Glasgow, to Edinburgh and back to here. What a good round robin it's been. This is the Virgin East Coast 225 that's just arrived from London King's Cross, terminating here. There is one more departure from here, which is at 2300, 11 o'clock, and that is going to Sunderland, Virgin East Coast HST. Full length train going to Sunderland station. Then again, only 6 of the carriages can fit that platform. In the meantime, I'm heading to the bus stop. The bus is not for another half an hour, so and I'm shivering cold. I will just take it easy. When I go on my next outing on Thursday, which I will announce in a bit, it'll be different because I'll actually be driving to here. I'll park up here in the morning, in a nearby multi-storey, pay a day ticket, then come back and drive home. More about that later on. Here a cross-country Voyager arriving from Reading. I know that because I've been on that one before. The last train to arrive into here is the one at 2 o'clock in the morning. In fact, after the sudden departure, it's just arrivals only, so the station is shut. Passengers. Walking out the station and walking along Neville Street, it looks like it's been raining here. It did rain a little just as I was leaving Edinburgh. It's not really busy tonight. It's only Tuesday night. On board one of Go North East's newest buses, the right street there, and they do look much nicer than the previous Janauary II hybrids, especially when these have got games on the tables. Play a blackjack on this, bit of snakes and ladders on one.
Next stop, Durham Road, Memorial Cottages.
Right, back at South Palo on Chelsea Street. It's now coming up to 5 to midnight, and this is the end of today's Dodds Diary. Today's been fantastic. I've been on a round robin journey, an Anglo-Scottish round robin I should say, and I've done it in the shape of a square or rectangle. The journey's gone from Newcastle to Carlisle to Glasgow to Edinburgh and back to Newcastle. And it's been brilliant. Got the bus to Newcastle. Carlisle we got there on a class 156, which was brilliant. Carlisle station I did about an hour and a bit photography, and it was a bit boring. Only got one freight and a few trains, and that was it. I suppose it can be a hit and miss a few times. and then went from Carlisle to Glasgow Central on a Virgin Pendolino, and that was the main reason for this trip. Because if you remember, in my UK round robin trip, I had to dive when I went from Carlisle to Glasgow to Carlisle. I had to divert, and that is the sound of a pacer going back to bed, which is what I'll be doing. I can tell what train it is just by the sounds of it. Anyway, in that 900-mile journey, 2 and a bit years ago, we had to divert via Kilmarnock and Dumfries because Lamerton Viaduct in South Lanarkshire had got torn up a bit by Storm Frank at the time. So I couldn't go down through that way, but this time I had the chance to, and that's the reason for this trip. And the scenery going up that part of the West Coast Main Line was brilliant. The train was nearly empty in places as well. Went up alongside the M6, most of it. We got to Glasgow about 1 o'clock. I met up with Ryan Jameson, did about 50 minutes photography in Glasgow Central. You don't really need that long these days to get a decent amount of footage. Then I had a walk through Glasgow city centre to Queen Street. Queen Street station is a bit of a building site because they're building a brand new concourse which could take a few years to do. The old 60s one is getting demolished. I saw some of the Class 380s at Queen Street, which I hadn't last time, now that electric trains are running into there. Then after Queen Street got a full Class 170 over to Edinburgh Waverley, so I decided to go via Falkirk rather than going from Glasgow Central to Edinburgh via Motherwell. Got to Edinburgh Waverley and signed in straight away. Again, did about at least an hour. Got the DRS Class 68 doing the Glenrothes services with a rate of Mark II carriages, ScotRail services. Why did I say DRS? ScotRail Class 68 with a rate of Mark II carriages. Got the usual ScotRail trains. Got a Voyager going out of one of the dead end platforms at the eastern end of the station, which I'd not seen before. Once I finished my video in Edinburgh Waverley Station, I had a couple of hours look around the city centre. So I went up to the to Edinburgh Castle, went up the Royal Mile, and it was brilliant. And the weather's been brilliant all day, although there were some bits of rain at the very end. One thing I can say about this outing is that I managed to do the most northerly points of both the West Coast Main Line and the East Coast Main Line, which now leads me into my next video diary, which will be on Thursday, I should say, this week. I'm taking a week off work, so I'm doing 2 long distance outings this week. So Thursday, that's the Thursday after I filmed this, and I'll be doing the more southerly points of the East Coast Main Line and the West Coast Main Line. In fact, a lot of the other intercity main lines, because I am going to London. Yeah, I'm taking on the capital. And also, these couple of outings, these are my last ever long distance outings on discounted tickets, because my rail card expires on May the 7th, and then that's it. Full adult fares for me. Thank you very much for watching. Follow me on Twitter, AlexOdds4, the link is on the bottom left hand corner of the screen. And I will see you in my London video diary. Good night.